Нет, я не считаю себя предателем. То есть я только рассказала, правду об этом для того, чтобы как-то с этим побороться.
Yuliya Stepanova, Russian champion, world-class athlete turned whistleblower. Branded a traitor in her motherland, she and her husband helped to expose cheating in Russia on a colossal scale. The revelations from this most controversial couple led to a humiliating ban on Russia's entire track and field team from the Rio Olympics. After revealing the dirty secrets behind Russian athletics, the Stepanovs with their young son Robert have spent the past 2 years on the run. They're currently in the United States, I can't say where. They're unlikely to return home anytime soon.
Я думаю, что это невозможно. Что нам небезопасно сейчас ехать в страну. Потому что там, как нас там выставляют, это нас там убьют. Я в этом просто уверена.
Убьют?
Да, то есть как только мы прилетим, я уверена, что нас сразу же с самолета поведут в ФСБ, заберет допрашивать, а потом нас через какое-то время, скорее всего, просто убьют, и все.
Yuliya Rusanova, her maiden name, was brought up on the edge of an industrial estate in Kursk in southwest Russia. With an alcoholic and violent father, she had a difficult childhood. Athletics was her escape. By 20, she began to excel as a middle-distance runner, winning regional races. Her performance improved when her coach gave her testosterone injections. The banned drug helped her cut a remarkable 3 seconds off her personal best.
Да, я знала, что это запрещенные препараты, но также до того, как мне их дать, я думаю, тренер меня хорошо подготовил в том плане, что он мне рассказывал много историй о том, как то, что это нормально, то, что все у нас так готовятся.
Once she was on the national team, Yuliya was sent to Dr. Sergei Portugalov, a top sports scientist and expert in performance-enhancing drugs.
Вот он мне сказал, то, что я могу грязно бежать на чемпионате России. То есть я как бы сидела, и у меня такие глаза, как грязные, там же допинг-контроль, меня же возьмут. Но если я займу первое место, там второе или третье, меня протестируют обязательно. И он мне, сказал, ты не волнуйся. То есть если даже тебя тестируют, берут на тестирование, просто пишешь мне номер своей пробы, и все, и спишь спокойно.
But at one race meeting, she came across a person in the system who wasn't prepared to turn a blind eye. Vitaly Stepanov was an idealistic young officer at RUSADA, Russia's anti-doping agency. A dirty athlete and a crusader for clean sport. It was an unlikely combination, but 2 months later they were married. Somehow they stuck together, despite frequent rows about Yuliya's doping.
There's Rusanova, second in the Russian Championships. As I said, she had a fright before she did indeed qualify for this final.
Yuliya went from strength to strength running at the World Championships in South Korea, but some clean athletes were puzzled by her success.
She's young, she looks very talented, got a good tactical head as well.
I led the whole way in the semi-final, and just at the very end I got overtook by 2 girls, one being Yuliya. Of course I was extremely shocked to see her in front of me. After the event, she looked very guilty is the only word I could think of, and I thought that straight away.
Eventually, though, Yuliya got a 2-year suspension after irregularities were detected in her biological passport.
А тут, получается, вроде как меня дисквалифицируют, и у меня появляется второй шанс. То есть либо возвращаться в эту систему и снова идти по этому пути. Но только теперь я уже знаю, что это неправильный путь. И то есть либо же мне опять возвращаться в эту систему и просто, лгут и лгут, ничего страшного. Зато мне платят деньги, зато я там в сборной, зато меня на сборы возят. Либо же попробовать что-то другой путь, правильный путь, который мой муж все эти 3 года пытался мне уговорить, показать.
I've been writing to WADA since 2010, and that was a little bit discouraging to see that they kind of preferred to somewhat stay away from me and from my wife as well.
Yuliya's 10-page confession to the World Anti-Doping Agency was ignored. She realized she needed more proof.
Dass Doping ein Systemproblem in Russland ist.
So she began secretly taping her coaches, officials and fellow athletes on her mobile phone. In this recording, her doctor boasts about how his drugs have turbocharged her performance. After the recordings aired on German TV, the Stepanovs left Russia. Now living in the US, they've received little support.
The classic sport structure and system doesn't necessarily want whistleblowers coming forward because it brings bad news about sport. And that's, you know, contrary to the brand, and it ultimately hurts the brand. And so I'm not sure that that's exactly what sport really wanted.
Yuliya's whistleblowing got a colder reception in Russia. The Kremlin called her a Judas. The press attacked her as a rat and a traitor. Online, some even called for her execution. Russian history is full of stories of betrayal. There's a famous one about the schoolboy Pavlik Morozov, who informed on his own father to Stalin's police. Some are calling Yuliya Stepanova a modern-day Pavlik Morozov for selling out her fellow athletes and her country.
She's not a hero because there's nothing brave in it. The main motive for her, as for any other athlete who is and who was doping, is a financial motive.
In this very laboratory, hundreds of positive samples were covered up or destroyed. The Moscow lab lost its accreditation in April and has been out of action for more than a year. After a round of sackings at the Russian anti-doping agency, all the talk is of reform.
That worked for USADA in previous years, so we don't have these old people in our company anymore.
Wouldn't sorry be a good thing to say?
I think, yeah. Actually, I think we should be sorry that everything happened and that there was, hints of that people could say that something was wrong. I said, of course, it was our mistake.
Yuliya hopes to compete at the World Championships in London next summer, perhaps under a neutral flag. But given the further allegation in Richard McLaren's report, will her fellow Russian athletes be there too? And if not, does she feel responsible?
Если они хотят меня ненавидеть, это их проблема. Я не считаю, что я сделала что-то плохое. Я рассказала правду, я пыталась помочь. Если они предпочитают врать, то это их проблема, и это их ненависть, она остается с ними.
Some call Yuliya Stepanova the greatest whistleblower in the history of sport. Whatever the case, the fallout from her revelations will be felt in Russia and worldwide for some time to come.